money. I probably was doing about maybe 10 loads a week, and I was making this company just a ton of money. And the moment that I messed up and shipped 10 pieces of wood over, they threatened my job. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't keep doing this. They talking about getting rid of me, and I done worked for 5 years for this company, and I can wake up tomorrow and go in and they can say, look, we no longer need you. So I was like, you know what, it got to be a better life. So I pursued barbering, and I left here. I moved to Alabama where my brother lived. I stayed with him for a couple of months, and once I became a barber, I got my own shop, and I've been an entrepreneur for about 15 years, so I have my own shop, and that's pretty much how I got, started. How I met my wife, I came back to our Crusader 10-year reunion. It was 10, right? Yeah, 10-year reunion, and met her on the ferry ride? The Princess. I met her there and brought her down. She moved down there with me in Birmingham next August. When did you move down? February. So.
August and then February.
Right. So I forget a lot of things, and I forget a lot of things, which that was the reason why I made it my business. I made it my business to actually get engaged to her on the same day that I met her, and get married on that same day.
So you won't forget your anniversary?
Right. So the reunion, we met August 16th, 2008. Yeah, 2008. I got engaged to her that very next year, August 16th, and I got married after that, August 16th. Hey, look, you can't knock me. I never forget my anniversary. Once she came down, she told me that the doctor told her that she would never have kids, and I'm a man of God, so I'm like, well, if you still got everything, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's hope, so with that being said, we had our
Some was in the water in Alabama, I guess.
Yeah, so we had our first kid or whatever, and then that's when, we got off into real estate maybe about, 2016 or something like that. 14? Yeah. See, I forget a lot. We've been into real estate for maybe about 4 or 5 years now, and it's been really well. We've been successful in it. You pretty much covered a lot of things that I had to talk about anyway as far as the real estate business. So I'm just going to turn it over to you.
All right, so let's talk about the barbering side of it, because that's where a lot of your experience with entrepreneurship kind of got started. So for those that want to inspire to get into, because a lot of times where we aren't as well rounded is the struggle points when it comes to entrepreneurship, right? We talk about the glorification of being able to command your own time and be your own boss and, things of that nature, which are all great and great perks. But you also have to realize the dynamics of hiring people and their skill set when they come through the door. And are you setting up succession planning? So when you retire, who's going to take over your business? If you are really an entrepreneur, you're sitting at CEO seat, and you have to learn those traits. You have to learn those qualities. You have to learn how to evaluate your employees, and then sometimes have to let people go. So you can't be emotionally tied to them. So through your experience, what are some of those struggle points?
Well, it's definitely a struggle for me because I hate to fire people. But it's definitely a must because being an entrepreneur, you got to hire the people that's right for your business. If not, they will run you out of business. And anybody that's in business as an entrepreneur knows that. It is not easy, waking up. What I was finding myself doing was I was really protecting my employees from my wife. Because my wife would chop them off quick. Like me, I'm like, no, they have families, and she's like, but they're not coming in, they're not paying on time. So it's one of them things to where I kept taking the back seat, and I would come home and be like, yeah, they're a little bit late, but they're gonna pay me. And the thing is that it's a struggle as an entrepreneur when you first getting started, especially when you don't have that network of people around you to really kind of show you. So everything is really new to you. So you have to go through a lot of trials and tribulations and basically fail in order to find out the right thing. And we lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of money in barbering, but I've learned from every mistake that I've made. So my thing is, being an entrepreneur is definitely, you have to study. You have to get around like-minded people like you, and always be willing, like you said, to piggyback off you, Jabari, is that you have to be prepared to always want to learn. Because when you start thinking you know everything, that's when you start failing. So I don't know. I really, it's hard for me to talk about barbering because of me and my wife. I got so addicted to like being at the shop because I love people, to where it was taking me away from my family, which I didn't know that it was doing until things got just real rough. And she like, okay, I haven't saw you. Like, you left here at 7 o'clock in the morning and you coming home at 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, well, I was working. So what you want me to do? I have to bring money in. So, that's where the balance come in. So right. It's a struggle, but you just gotta be disciplined for it.
So talking about balance, and so explain to them why that was part of the reason of you transitioning out of the barbering into real estate.
Well, because it took over my life to the point to where I was on appointments, but if we go on vacation, I have to cut my vacation short just to get back, to my clients. So the balance that I needed was, my kids wasn't seeing me at all. My wife was upset with me because I wasn't in her life hardly, and the kids needed me. It was a lot of things that they went to without me. And I can imagine her friends was like, well, what's going on with them? Like, we don't see Joe around, but it was nothing going on with it. It's just I was always at work because at that time, that's what I loved to do. And it was a demand for me. So to get wrapped up, that was one of the reasons why I transitioned out of the barbering business, because real estate freed me up. It freed me up to spend more time with my family. Now when we go on vacation, when I tell you this woman loved to extend the vacation, every time we go on vacation, she like, look, I want to stay another day or two. So I'm like, well, this is why we left our job and became entrepreneurs, was to do, stuff like this. So absolutely. That was the transition that I had to make in order to kind of gain, control of my life and my family.
So what is some of the things that you find beneficial working on a team with your partner?
Just the times.
Why is it hard? Tell me what's so good about it.
Say that again.
We talk about a lot of the struggle points because, we encounter a lot of couples that come to us and say, hey, we want to do what you guys are doing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's the husband going to him and say, my wife she don't believe in real estate, or she don't want anything to do with it. Or, the wife comes to me and say, hey, I want to do this, but, my husband doesn't want to do it. So it's very rare that you have two couples coming to us at the exact same time, on the same page already there. So I think that there's some uniqueness that him and I have, and I want him to speak to where he feels those benefits are, and then I'll chime in.
How will you speak to that first?
Well, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
No. So what are the benefits of working with your life partner?
Well, the benefits is I get to spend more time with her. I get to, the things that I didn't know about it. Because a lot of times we get married and we really don't know that person until, you stand with them. And a lot of things came out that she didn't like about me. I never told her what I didn't like about her. I never will, but
Smart man.
I never will, but you constantly don't know each other. So throughout marriage, you're always going to be learning each other. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love to work with her is because I get to know everything about her. You know, sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. You get in each other's space too much, and you're like, oh man, I need a break from my family.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she actually instills that in me a lot. She like, look, everybody needs a social life outside of their life. And that's what we kind of do. We kind of create that balance to where, look, you go on trips with your friends, and I'm going to go on trips with my friends. And then at the end of the day, we can still make this thing happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the perks and benefits of working together.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, with my experience being able to understand personality types and knowing that he is an introvert and I'm an introvert, we both decompress in solitude. So he needs his alone time and I need my alone time. So how we make that work is every week we both have a day. So Tuesdays, my kids know this too.
Yeah.
They like Tuesday is Mama Day. So we can't do Chuck E. Cheese on Tuesday. If y'all know Tuesdays, you can get 2 pieces for $22 at Chuck E. Cheese.
Really?
Okay, so yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, but so they know Tuesdays is Mama Day because I need that day. I look forward to that day. That is my day. If I just want to chill in a coffee shop and sip coffee all day, can I have coffee?
You just gotta put the right kind of sweet
Okay.
in there.
Yeah, right. No sugar.
You know, it's for me to just unwind, release, just, you know, be in tune with myself. You know,
Me
whatever.
time.
Yeah, just me time. And he has his day on Thursday. So, you know, us being able to identify each other's need inside of the business and outside of the business is one of the key things that has helped us work. Because before, you know, it was, need to do this my way, and he's like, you know, we're two A-type, strong, opinionated individuals and introverts, which is the weirdest thing ever. But again, extending grace and knowing that this is my husband. He's not I'm not his boss, and vice versa. We're partners in this thing, and our entire purpose of doing what we do match, right? So, you know, identifying that and keeping that at the forefront has helped us along the way. Look at him, he's like, I'm a proud wife over talking.
Y'all get some marriage counseling.
I got a quick question to that point, if you all don't mind.
Of course.
Do you think that you all would have been able to have success in business prior to being husband and wife, like still dating?
Repeat that question again.
Could you all work together successfully as you do now and just be boyfriend and girlfriend or just dating? You know, and I don't want to, I say irrespective of the kids, because what I'm trying to get at is working together with your mate seems to present a lot of challenges, and you all make it, you know, I'm open to it now. Like, okay, maybe it's something that can be done, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know that it can be done without being married.
Well, I think you have to have a level of mutual respect for the individual. You know, when you have respect for somebody, then it entitles you to love them in a way that they need to be loved. I mean, going back to what we were talking about knowing each other. I mean, there's people who have never been married and they perform as married and they work together. It's that mutual love and respect that I have for him. I honor him because of who he is to me. Joe is a good dude. Like, the best, he's loved me better than anybody, any male figure, and that's including my dad, ever in my life. But I
Damn.
No, that's some real stuff. That's real.
What's up.
That's real. I tell him that all the time. But God placed him in my life to do that because that's a void that I had. And back to my point, only God knows how to fulfill that void. And he is the person to fill that void. God placed him in my life to do that. So having that outlook and know who he is and what he represents to me, whether we're married or not, will allow me to work with him. because I respect him and I love him.
Good answer.
Great answer.
Whoa, wait. Oh, wait.
That was a great answer.
You need to be in PR too.
Joe, I have a question for you. Do you think that, and I'm asking you this because I've known your wife for a long time. Do you think that, and this is just piggybacking off of Jabari's question, that marriage combined with you being an entrepreneur, do you think that brought the person that you're married to the forefront? Am I making sense? What changes did you see in Kimberly now that you guys are not dating, but you became husband and wife in business?
Well, the changes that I actually see in her now is just like when she was working in corporate America, she was bringing the job home. So she was more so of a boss to me and the kids versus, I would say, a wife and a parent. Because what you do is when she in work mode, she didn't know how to turn it off. You see what I'm saying? So when she come home, what we're getting from her is all of the mess that she went through at work. So if somebody made her mad and she come home and the kids say something to her, they get to arguing with, kids, they cry and they argue, mommy, he hit me or she hit me. And everything that you just went through at work, she taking it out on the kids. Now, I knew better. I knew to stay away from it. But when you see a woman, like when you see that raise, you just, as a man, you just step back. You're like, you know what, I'm going to leave this one alone because mommy mad, y'all. Y'all better go ahead and sit down. So, that was the difference with her working for corporate America. Now, I don't have to worry about that because if she have stress on it, I know that it's between us now. I know that it's fixable because it's either something that we're going through together or it's something that I did. You see what I'm saying? Or it's something that she would just come and tell me like, well, I had a bad day or I got some bad news. And the stress level is not that intense anymore. You see what I'm saying? Because we got each other and we know exactly what we're stressed about.
It's not someone else causing you guys the stress.
Right.
So what I'm wondering, and this is, I guess, getting a little bit personal, but marriage is not for everybody, right? But for you guys, it is. I feel because she's married to the person she's supposed to be married to, that gave her that push to step into entrepreneurship. So now the purpose has changed. Whereas before, she would have been stuck in that corporate job. Am I wrong? Like,
That's right.
You would not have even been thinking, maybe you would have had the thought or the mustard seed, but you probably wouldn't have brought it into fruition if not for your partner,
Right.
who was an entrepreneur.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So that balance is real key, right? That's living pretty. Having balance in your life.
Right.
And if your partner is off, everything else is going to be off. Right?
Yep.
So now that you have been equally yoked, it's brought balance to you in a lot of different areas and vice versa. Right?
Yep.
Do you feel that your business ethic or your business outlook has changed because of the partner you're attached to now?
Definitely.
Balance is real important. Thank you guys so much for a prototype couple. I appreciate you guys giving us the nuggets and spending time with us today. I'm gonna go ahead and go back. You guys can have a seat. Thank you so much. Let's give them a hand.